Hello, I'm Jack Middleton. So this week, and for the final week for this year, I'm going to be talking to you about taxes. Now that might sound really boring, almost just as boring as the opening crawl to Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Galactic Empire, something, taxes, trade routes, why are you so boring? But as the saying goes, there's two things that you can't avoid in life, and that's death and taxes. Well, some have found out how to avoid one of them, and it's taxes. And they are big businesses. So if you've conquered both, you're probably some kind of CEO Highlander or a successful Voldemort that owns an international coffee chain. Investigations by the Australian Taxation Office found that of the 1,539 companies they investigated, 579 of those companies that operated within Australia did not pay taxes to this country. When a company does that, they exploit the skills of the people from this country, and they exploit the economic prosperity which allows them to turn the profits that they do. An average income of $80,000 a year, you'll end up paying about $17,000 tax. And $17,000 was the highest amount of tax paid by these companies on the transparency list. Lexmark International itself had a taxable income of $126,000 and earnings of $101 million. And that was the highest taxpayer on the list. The worst offender and the highest earner and payer of $0 in tax to Australia was Qantas Airways Limited, with $15 billion of income that year. Do you still call Australia home, Qantas? And if you do, won't you think of the children? Won't someone please think of the children? So, if you paid $277 in tax, you've already paid more than Goldman Sachs. If you paid $87 tax, the lowest amount possible, you've already paid more than 580 multi-million-dollar corporations that operate within Australia. To clamp down on these 1%ers, visit this address, sign the petition, learn more about tax dodging. Now, here are some of the slippery and dodgy ways that these companies avoid tax. Their taxable income may be zero because of adjustments like laws and deductions and losses carried over from previous years. They can credit for foreign taxes paid. They can also offset tax by franking credits, which is basically giving the money back to the already filthy rich shareholders of the company. It just further reinforces the truism that the more money you have, the more easier it is to make more money. Google and Amazon and Starbucks are some of the biggest international offenders of tax dodging. Starbucks gave nothing back, nothing in tax, to fund the training of the baristas, the business people, the economic prosperity to actually afford coffee. They did not contribute to that whatsoever.
The government can end this injustice with a simple MAT tax applied on multinational corporation revenue that permanently closes all tax avoidance loopholes. This will bring in billions of new tax revenue, save jobs, and enhance our national services. Join the campaign at crowdcrusader.com, the world's first crowd action platform.
It's just a faceless corporation. There's no tailors, there's no bakers, there's no freaking candlestick makers, there's no trained specialists, very rarely in countries like America and England and Australia. We don't do our own stuff. We outsource it to China. It's only since the invention of aircrafts that we've been able to utilize the whole world into one big factory. It's odd when you stop and think about it for a second. It's very strange that we're not skilled in funding ourselves. We rely on big corporations. We rely on them. They offer us a service, and we need that service because humankind is just naturally attracted to what is quick and easy. That is what they want. It's what people want, and it's what these big companies provide. And as long as that structure still remains, it will always flow. What we need is to sort of break that up and start learning ourselves and thinking for ourselves. Starbucks tried to come to Australia, but they failed because we've already got such a strong coffee culture as it is. We've got to start making our own stuff and thinking more independently. Clamp down on the 1%, stop them turning a profit off our backs while they're giving absolutely nothing back. This has been Jack Middleton reporting for Undercurrent.